I was counseling a young man who was bemoaning the fact that he works in a school, that the halls are full of women therapists and intervention experts, and it's extremely challenging. And I commended him that he cared so much, and I told him I want to share with you a story. A little after I got married, I moved to Eretz Yisrael in 1986, and the following story happened. There's a Yid, Rabbi Tucker, a Talmud Chacham of note, who happens to be one of the Bali Tefillah and Yom Noraim in the Brisky Yeshiva. And his little toddler was playing on the porch and he got entangled in a laundry line and he lost consciousness and he was utterly lifeless. The mother, Nechama Glika, was crying desperately and a person responded to her cries and came to try to administer CPR until they were able to rush him to the hospital. They got him to the hospital and the chief medical experts there said, the chances are very small that he'll be able to come out of this. There's nothing to do. But came along another doctor and said, let's induce a coma for 3 days and then we'll awaken him and see and reevaluate after that. And that's what they did. Nechama Glika went and ran all over to different schools and different chadorim to try to get them to say Tillim and to increase the schusim to be able to be mispal that this child should have a recovery. That evening, Rabbi Tucker got a phone call from a Yid, Rabbi Davidel Frankel, a friend of his, a Talmud Chacham, a tzaddik in Yerushalayim. Rabbi Davidel said to him, I had a dream last night. In the dream, there were 3 judges sitting in Shemayim with 2 containers in front of them. One was labeled Maves and one was labeled Chaim. And they were putting little pieces of paper into each one, papers that had names of different people on it. And came up a name, Yehuda Aryeh ben Nechama Glika, the name of this child. And they were about to place it into the container labeled Maves. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came a blue pair of scissors and sliced it up into shreds, and it flew away, and I woke up. Rabbi Schmeltzer said, very nice. He knew that dreams are usually insignificant, and he said, thank you very much for the chizik, halavai. He comes home and he relates the dream to his wife, and his wife gasps and says, the blue scissors? Just yesterday, I wanted to get some kind of schus that maybe that our Yehuda Aryeh should have a refuah shlema, and I was makabel on myself that I will not hand something to a man into his hand, and I will not receive something directly from a man's hand. On the way to the hospital, I was carrying my blue scissors, my blue sewing scissors, and I was taking it to Machan Yehuda to get sharpened. He reached out his hand to take it as he always does, and I left his hand suspended in air, uncomfortable, but I did so, and I put the scissors down on the table and he took it from the table. This blue scissors is what sliced up that Gzar Din Lamavis for my Yehuda Aryeh. The next day, the child was playing with his toys on the porch as if nothing happened, and he was fine. I turned to this young man and I told him, maybe a Kabbalah in Inyane Kedusha, maybe something like that will give you strength, maybe we'll do something for you. 2 weeks later, he came to me and he shared the following story with me. He said, after I spoke to you, I was makabel on myself that a certain portion of the hallway I'm going to walk with my head down. And that's what I did for 1 week, and I did it for 2 weeks. When I had spoken to you, I was going through a very difficult time with Parnasa. I had to take on a Sunday job. I had to take on an evening job to augment my income. And after 2 weeks, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I became eligible for a program and I received a check of $10,000. Besides the benefits of a refuah shlema for a child, besides some windfall of money, how about the satisfaction that we defeated the Yetzer Hara, that we won, we were victorious? In the world they say, if you cannot beat them, join them. And I say, don't join them, just beat them.